Due to the high level of mistreatment of African workers in the Middle East, the International Labour Organization African branch has decided to look into the matter. And when I saw this story, I was really happy because someone was really listening or someone was really paying attention. I have been saying it on this show that it's high time international organizations like the International Labour Organization and most human rights groups come up with a way to resolve the migrant workers issue in the Middle East. The Middle East is a very rich place. Most of the countries there are rich. They have a lot of resources like oil and gas. So they are super rich, but the population is very, very small. So they need migrant workers to help them move their economic forward. Take example, Qatar. Qatar has about 80% foreigners, or some people say 85%, and just about 15 to 18% Qataris. So in a country like Qatar, you see how much they need foreigners. So I do believe that foreigners have a leverage. They can use this leverage and against Qatar in order to get better working conditions. And not just Qatar, many countries in the Middle East are like that. They have very, very small population. So my brothers and sisters, watch this video.
Almost all IGAD countries have millions of workers as legal and illegal migrants working in the Gulf states. And some of them have got very poor working conditions. Some of them are doing relatively well.
Musindo revealed ILO is trying to provide a platform for dialogue in the near future between the African countries and Gulf states in the early months of the upcoming year.
Of course, globally, ILO using its various tools and so on, it's also to try and provide that platform for dialogue. I might conclude by saying on the dialogue side, we are not only looking at the power of one country, but looking at the power of the continent for Africa. So next year we are looking at possibilities for an Africa Gulf states dialogue on promoting safe orderly migration, so that part of what you are raising as the pressure side of it is also handled at continental level with Africa coming together.
According to him, this dialogue is vital to end the suffering of migrant workers and create decent jobs for them in the countries of destination. Asked about the abuse of Ethiopian workers have been experiencing recently, the director also said that ILO is working to ensure Ethiopian workers' rights in the destination countries. He stated that Ethiopia has a large number of legal and illegal migrant workers in the Gulf of States, and ILO will make all available measures to protect the rights of those workers.
So the International Labour Organization is not taking the necessary actions that are needed to protect African migrant workers in the Middle East. This is long overdue, but I am happy that they are taking these proactive steps to ensure that migrant workers who are going to the Middle East or migrant workers who are in the Middle East are protected. I have always said this, that people might feel like the Middle Eastern countries are helping the migrant workers. I don't think they are helping, like giving something for free, right? It's not like they are giving, they are donating, or it's not like they are giving them anything for free. That's not how it is, isn't it? The migrant workers are working. They are performing a service. They are mainly being paid for their services. It's like supply and demand. The Middle Eastern country needs labor. The African countries are willing to supply these labors. Supply, demand. So it's not like one person is helping the other person. So I do believe that migrant workers must be treated fairly. If you can do something to your fellow nationals, do not do them to migrant workers, because migrant workers are people. They are human beings. They deserve to be treated better. They deserve all the rights that human beings have. The fact that they came to work in your country doesn't mean that you should treat them like second-class citizens. The fact that they came to work in your country doesn't mean that you should put them in slave-like conditions. You must treat them fairly. You must treat them fairly. I have made my opinion really clear. I have made my mind really clear that people should avoid going to the Middle East altogether. Because the Middle Eastern countries have policy in place that disfavor African migrant workers. Until that changes, people should avoid going there. The Middle Eastern countries need the migrant workers. They cannot do without the migrant workers. We have a leverage. We must use it against them. And I am very happy that the International Labour Organization is not doing something or is not planning to do something. They need to protect migrant workers. They need to do their best to protect all the migrant workers in the Middle East. They need to enforce international human rights. They need to make sure that migrant workers in the Middle East are protected. All these things they need to do. But you guys, my fellow viewers in Africa, what do you think about the International Labour Organization proactiveness? Do you think that they will do what they said? Or all this was just a show to make African migrant workers think that they are fighting for their rights? And this might not go anywhere. Let us know in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. If you came across any story on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, or on Instagram that you thought is worth sharing with the rest of the world, please send it our way through any of our social media platforms. You can find them on this channel description section. Please leave us a comment below, like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Little deeds of goodwill like this one helps the channel a lot, and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.